Recently, Brad Garlinghouse made a huge statement: for all of you who own XRP, it will have a significant impact, but no one has really done a thorough investigation into what that implies. That's precisely what I'm going to be doing today. During a live broadcast, I mentioned in passing that Ripple had acquired the top broker Hidden Road. However, I will delve deeper into this today and discuss why this is so important for the banking sector, institutional flows, and much more in relation to decentralized finance. First, though, I would like to give you a better idea of what Hidden Road is and why, in my opinion, this is by far one of the biggest acquisitions in the history of the cryptocurrency industry. Prior to being acquired by Ripple, Hidden Road offered a variety of services such as financing, clearing, and prime brokerage. These days, FXN precious metals, digital assets, synthetics, OTC swaps, FX stocks and commodities, digital assets, energy, and rates are all included in their premier brokerage service. Naturally, they also offer clearing, which includes clearing for derivatives, futures, and options, as well as sponsored access and direct market access. Of course, their services also include financing, where they provide margin financing for digital assets, derivatives, and margin financing. As of right now, Ripple will be acquiring Hidden Road's numerous institutional clients as part of their acquisition. I therefore want to discuss their entire business, and how the XRP ledger and RLUSD will be involved. Trillion-dollar transaction, as evidenced by Ripple's $1.25 billion purchase of Hidden Road, a multi-asset prime broker, which means that Hidden Road will now use the XRP ledger and Ripple's stablecoin in its operations. I am aware that some of you were observing this and contemplating, alright, how is this even somewhat beneficial for the XRP community if it was done with the Ripple stablecoin? Well, RLUSD uses XRP for all of its gas expenses and is shown on the XRP ledger. Therefore, even though the Ripple stablecoin will be used for the majority of these transactions, RLUSD and XRP will be used. In particular, RLUSD will be used as collateral for all of Hidden Road's prime brokerage products. Hidden Road clears $3 trillion in markets each year for more than 300 institutional clients. I want to emphasize again that there are currently 300 institutional clients and $3 trillion in annual revenue. In a moment, I will go further into these 300 institutional clients. Some very well-known names are included. First, though, I would want to draw attention to the fact that this integration immediately raises the demand and usefulness for XRP, which is based on the XRP ledger and RLUSD. Additionally, it increases XRP's significance as a native ledger token. Transaction costs and network utilization may rise as a result of more activity on the XRP ledger, which will obviously increase XRP's value. The increase in institutional use of XRP in particular, however, is what I believe to be the most significant aspect of this. As we can see, Garlinghouse's post on X highlights a change in the U.S. toward a pro-innovation policy, especially with new leadership, indicating that the SEC's strict regulatory posture on cryptocurrency is coming to an end. Through the acquisition, Ripple and consequently XRP becomes a prominent figure in institutional finance. Now that more than 300 institutions in Hidden Road's client base are exposed to XRP ledger-based solutions, there may be a stronger institutional adoption of XRP for financial use cases such as liquidity provision and cross-border payments. As Garlinghouse pointed out, this fits with Ripple's concept of real institutional flows combining with decentralized finance, possibly raising the price and market relevance of XRP over time. Additionally, we can see that this will improve the XRP ledger's DeFi capabilities and liquidity. As you can see, this is supported by the purchase of Hidden Road, which brings in a top broker who can help institutional players have more liquidity and price transparency. The lending protocol and other characteristics of XRPL's native decentralized DEX are meant to meet institutional needs while guaranteeing consistent liquidity and little slippage. In essence, what's going on here, and the reason the Ripple team has been so silent, incidentally, is that they are working to completely integrate this into Hidden Road's service portfolio in order to improve their offering. The first fully tokenized example of a cryptocurrency that will serve institutional clients in a way that will save them money and give them access to more opportunities is Hidden Road, which was previously not clearly on the XRP ledger but will now be. This is the reason it's so important. The XRP team isn't simply talking the talk anymore, you see. They're walking it now too. They are acting on their own initiative. They won't wait for a certain organization to approve their use of your Razor services. Instead of doing that, they are purchasing a company that already has a large clientele. In terms of market perception and regulatory clarity, this is also plainly absurdly large. As you can see, we are overcoming the SEC's battle against cryptocurrency and demonstrating that we are capable of forming these collaborations, which will benefit a great number of people. Although this is excellent, the last point is arguably the most crucial, and that's how Ripple is positioned strategically. Since no other sizable Bitcoin community or project is doing any such actions, the entire situation is fantastic. As you can see, Ripple is now the only cryptocurrency business to own and run a global multi-asset prime broker after acquiring Hidden Road. By improving Ripple's market power and balance sheet, this calculated action indirectly helps XRP. Hidden Road has the potential to grow into the world's biggest non-bank prime broker as it uses Ripple services, enhancing Ripple's ecosystem's reputation and visibility. More collaborations and applications for XRP may result from this, particularly in cross-border payments and settlements where XRP has long been positioned as a bridge currency. This move is huge, isn't it? And I believe that people have been oblivious to how fantastic this is. Thus, I must admit that based on all we've seen thus far from the Ripple team and their discussion of this, I am quite enthusiastic about the future of XRP. I understand that many of you are probably thinking, okay, that's fantastic, isn't it? You know, there are a lot more use cases for XRP, including access to institutional clients. Why is the price currently skyrocketing? Why do we seem to be at a standstill? We've lost roughly 2.4% during the past day. That's an excellent query, and I'd like to respond to that. The systems haven't been put into place yet, to put it simply. It is going to require some time. Things don't happen as quickly as we would like them to, and while that was excellent news, it might have caused some immediate price movement after the acquisition was revealed. But it won't be one of those events where XRP suddenly jumps to $5. It's going to be a gradual burn, and as more and more individuals and organizations begin utilizing these many servers, XRP will eventually continue to rise during the bull market. For this reason, patience is crucial. Everything will be looking great as long as we can remain patient, put our heads down, and keep moving forward. Ripple will continue to develop these products and keep up this level of public communication. They have a lot to prove, they're innovating, and they're making amazing stuff. They aspire to be a worldwide powerhouse in the fields of finance and international payments, and this is a huge step in the right direction. Thus, it's extremely exciting, I must say. Believe that this will enable XRP's value to soar throughout this year. Furthermore, it will take time to determine the precise size of this relationship in the future. Still, it's a fantastic one. In order to make this something valuable, they will make use of the XRPL and the technology they have developed at Ripple. Naturally, we also offer similar services to more than 300 institutional clients. Having said that, my fellow traders, there will be several short-term trading opportunities in the following days. I want to make sure that you guys make the most of this opportunity. We were able to execute a deal recently, and we made a significant profit, more than 65% more than we made on one of our most recent sales over here. Join the Crypto Crusaders, follow our 3-step method, and I'll see you there if you want to participate and start making additional transactions. And I must admit that I'm looking forward to XRP's future, folks. Hit the like and subscribe buttons if you are, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.